Oh, hey guys. So I've decided to re-record, do a voiceover on this part. As I've told you before, I actually use these lessons myself to review my Greek and to study. So when I was listening to this lesson, I believe it's lesson 11, I've noticed that the recording, the voice recording on this part was so low that you have to crank it up. And on top of that, I realized that I forgot to include an example part for the pronouns for this and these and that and those. And I think it's important to have some examples in there. I think it will help you understand why they're being used and how they're being used. Furthermore, I decided to add another section of pronouns for the pronoun who and which. And there's only 3 charts for that part, so I figured it wouldn't be too much if I added it to this lesson, because right now this lesson was only going to be 6 minutes. Now it'll be 7.5 minutes.
Just kidding. I love y'all guys. Be good to each other. Talk to you soon.
Alright guys, let's get started with some review. And we'll take a look at this chart on pronouns that we've used before as well. The types of pronouns. We've talked about the personal pronouns. Do you remember this chart? Starts out with ego, which means I. And then this chart, which is su, which is for you. And then of course autos, which represents he, she, or it. So on this chart here with types of pronouns, we're going to move down the list. And today we're going to cover demonstrative pronouns. Okay, let's get right into these demonstrative pronoun charts, and we're going to start with the word houtos, which means this or these. Ekainos, which means that or those. And let's look at 3 general rules when dealing with demonstrative pronouns. First of all, demonstratives are pointers. They point to things near, this or these, or things far, that or those. So in the Greek, you can see that a clear distinction is made for objects that are near and objects that are far. Rule number 2. Demonstratives may function as adjectives when they modify other words. Rule number 3. Demonstratives may function like pronouns when they stand alone. Alright, let's take a look at the charts for the words for this and these. They're set up the same way as the other pronoun charts, with the case on the left and then singular and plural forms in the columns to the right. Houtos, tuto, tutau, tuton. Houtoi, tuton, tutois, tutus. And the feminine form. Ate, tates, tate, tatain. Hatai, tuton, tutes, and tutas. And now let's talk about the neuter form. Tuta, tutu, tuto, tuta. Teta, tuton, tutois, tauta. Okay, let's move on to the words for that and those, starting with the masculine form. Ekainos, ekainu, ekaino, ekainon. Ekainoi, ekainon, ekanois, ekanous. And now let's go over the feminine form. Ekaine, ekaines, ekaine, ekainin, ekanai, ekanon, ekanaes, ekanas. And now how about the neuter form? Ekano, ekanu, ekano, ekana, ekana, ekanon, ekanois, ekana. Okay, let's move on, and we'll take a look at our pronoun chart that we were looking at before. We dealt with personal pronouns and demonstrative pronouns. Now we're going to look at relative pronouns, which basically is the Greek words for who and which. Okay, let's start with the masculine form of the relative pronoun who and which is hos. Hos, who, ho, han, hoi, hon, hois, hus. Now moving on to the feminine relative pronoun who and which starts out with hey, heis, hey, hain, and the plural hey, hon, heis, has. And how about the neuter form of the relative pronoun has? Ha, hoi, ho, ha. And the plural form ha, hon, hois, ha. How about our vocabulary words for units 19 and 20? Akelutheo, I follow. Enopion, for. Thalasia, sea or lake. Kathemai, I sit. Kairos is time. Ute, and not or nor. Pipto, I fall. Pous or podos, foot. Pros erkomai, I come or go. Pros erkomai, I pray. And let's go over lesson 20 vocabulary. Enabeno, I go up. Argo, I rule, begin. Ekastos, each, every. Ekbalo, I drive out. Ka go, and I but I. Ka go, and I but I. Katabeno, I go down. Malon, more, rather. Meter is mother. Hatu, where or since. Huste, therefore or so.